Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is NFT Once, and today we're going to be taking another look at whether you should buy open editions on Nifty Gateway. I know in my last video, I kind of said you should buy every single open edition that is dropped because more than likely the majority of them are going to go up. Cut your losers early, and then the rest are going to be able to do well, and you're going to make profit on those pieces. Well, times have changed. That was 3 weeks ago, and the market moves really quickly. I'm sure some of you have tried to purchase open editions in the past week and you're wondering why the price isn't going up. We're going to kind of explore the past 2 weeks or so of open editions and try to analyze why some pieces did well, why some pieces didn't do well, and what you can do in the future to ensure that most open editions that you purchase are actually going to do well in the secondary market. Oh yeah, guys, it really helps if you like the video. So before the video starts, please just drop a like. Please drop a like. It helps so much, and it's going to help us grow as a channel, and I can keep delivering all this dope information and analysis to you guys. So the first piece that we're going to be looking at is the Steve Aoki Open Edition with Anthony Tedisco. And I know if you bought this piece, you're probably regretting it because we're about to look at this graph, which is really cool. It's a website called niftysales.info. Definitely check it out. It was minted at $2,500. 618 were minted. Obviously, Steve Aoki is a famous DJ and has been for the past, 1 or 2 decades. So there's going to be a lot of hype. The issue is a lot of people who are buying this hype don't really realize that, it's not going to stay there forever. It's only going to be on the drop. And as people realize that they don't actually want this piece, they're going to start dumping it for less than they bought it for. As you can see, the last sale, $1,588. We're going to look at the graph basically over the past, week or so, 1,800. 1,600, a lot sold for 1,500, now 1,588. And the drop price was 2,500. So as you can see, when a really hyped celebrity drops a piece, my new thesis around this is that you should probably stay away. Kind of like how Grimes, we're going to look at that later, but Grimes, dropped a 7,500 piece, and now it's not even trading for near that. It's going for way less. So for the future, try to stay away from anything that's hyped because the person is a celebrity by other means besides true art and digital art. Now we're going to look at one that actually did well. This one's by Dot Pigeon. It was the My Dark Twisted Fantasy Open Edition. And the one we're going to look at is Hey Alexa, tell everyone to go themselves for $750. 588 editions were minted, which is not too much in today's climate. And as you can tell, we have 888, and now we're looking at 950s a few days ago, 1,000. Move myself out of the way, and now we're going for 1235. So the reason why this piece did well, it's not just enough for me to say that a piece is doing well. Like, we have to actually understand why a piece is doing well so that in the future you can actually make good decisions when you're purchasing open editions. In my opinion, why this piece is doing well is because in the Nifty Gateway Discord, and if you're not in there, you have to be in there because you have to stay tuned on what people are talking about, because honestly, what people are talking about kind of drives and pumps the market. And in that Discord, a lot of people were like really into Dot Pigeon's work for some reason. And I don't know if it was a meme or a fake pump, but regardless of what it was, the demand was there, right? People are talking about the piece. It's a really good piece. And thankfully, it did not mint for $1,500. They actually had a $750 option, meaning that a lot of people could get in and the price of the art could actually appreciate after the $750 open edition. Essentially, the thesis is you need to be able to keep tabs of what people are talking about, because if more people are talking about it, then obviously they're going to put their money where their mouth is eventually and buy the piece. The next one we're going to look at is the Speculation Open Edition by Mankind. Now, Rhett is an amazing artist. He has a really good YouTube channel that you need to go check out. If we look at the prices for Skin Deep, it launched for $600. It was going for $600, and then it dropped. 400, 300. So if we look at the piece, let me try to explain why I think this price action happened. First of all, it's a JPEG, and traditionally JPEGs basically do way less than GIFs or even 3D animations with sound. It's really hard to justify owning a $750 image where you can own, in the same exact price range, really cool 3D animations and with sound and movement and lighting. So not to shit on this person's art, like, it is a really good image, but in terms of relative to the rest of the market, it's just not worth a still image versus a video or a GIF at that price range. Another reason why I think this did the way it did is because Mankind isn't really the most vocal person as someone that is just sitting in the Discord. For example, like Ted Has a Dream, and as well as Mad Dog Jones, they're always in the Discord chatting to the collectors. So the information we can take away from this is that if an artist is continuously participating with their collectors on Twitter or in the Discord, then obviously more people are going to be attracted to that piece. They're going to have better connections with those pieces, hold on to them for longer, have more diamond hands because they talk to the artist, they understand his vision or her vision, vision, and they're just going to hold on to the piece and appreciate it more and want to own it for higher prices due to that interaction and relationship building. The next piece we're going to look at is Le Anime by Too Much Lag. Now, this piece is amazing, and let me tell you why. It's not necessarily the art that it came with right here, but the fact that it came with a really cool mechanic in which each mint number had a randomized set of attributes for where you can see the final boss of the piece. It honestly even has its own Discord. And the fact that one single art piece has its own Discord shows that there's other incentives to purchase the piece. Similar with Trevor Jones and how he did the Angels, basically saying like, okay guys, you guys got to hold this. There's a lot of perks. If you own it when Bitcoin hits 77K, then I'm going to drop one-on-one portrait for you. Essentially, the thesis here is that if there's other perks or there's other miscellaneous things that come with the NFT, besides literally just owning the art, then that's going to drive the price up. This mechanic is really cool because every mint edition is 100% unique from the rest of the mints. Even though there's 1,573 mints, pretty much all of the pieces are completely unique, and it's really cool to go and check out the different ways that your piece is unique. And some mints like 333 or 666 have really special attributes and will go for even higher price than any other random mint. That's something that's really cool to keep track of, and if something has a really cool mechanic, you definitely want to purchase into it. Same thing with Mad Dog Jones. Mad Dog Jones is known to burn his old pieces using some smart contract. If there's some sort of mechanic that extends beyond the art, then that's something you need to buy into, because people are not just buying for the art, but for the relationship with the artist and all these other really cool things that surround that exact piece. And if we look at Le Anime, yeah, it dropped at 777, and then it was going immediately for 1,000, sold for 1,800, basically at least 50% above the drop price because of this mechanic. Now we're going to look at this collection by Trevor Andrew, aka the Gucci Ghost. So these pieces, right off the bat, honestly, like before it dropped, I already knew, guys, I literally knew that this collection was not going to do well because of the prices, simply because of the prices alone. If we look at Acid Flashback, the last sale was $3,250 and the drop price was $3,500. For a while, it was going for $1,000 less than it dropped. And recently it started to make a run, but even so, these are all way below the drop price of $3,500, meaning people are losing thousands of dollars on this piece. In my opinion, the reason this is happening is because the art itself is not really that mind-blowing, and for $3,500, do you really want to own this come on, it's pretty basic, not that crazy or mind-blowing of a piece. It's probably not worth $3,500 to you when there's a lot of other pieces on the market that probably you would want to own relative to this piece. So even though the Gucci Ghost is freaking amazing, like it's iconic, right? But just ask yourself, is the price of the open, is that the true market value of the price? Because a lot of the times, even though an open launches for a certain price, that doesn't make it the market value of the price. That just means that you're probably going to buy it overpriced because that's just what it's dropping for. But over time, within the first few days or week or 2 weeks, the fair value of the price is what the market is willing to pay for it. And if the market is willing to pay $2,500, even though it launched for $3,500, well, within a few days, the market is going to correct, and that's what it's going to be. So be careful when you're purchasing really expensive open editions. And the same exact thing happened to Mars. Basically, it dropped for $7,500. Yes, it's a beautiful piece. It's definitely worth thousands and thousands of dollars. However, it's not worth $7,500. So immediately after it dropped, it started going to $3,500, $47, and several thousands dollars less than the actual drop price, because it's not worth $7,500. Maybe it will eventually, but in the current market state, it's definitely a piece worth $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, not necessarily the $7,500 that it dropped for. Now let's look at the Slime Sunday collection that he dropped with Blau, which was this collection. We're going to look at Faces. Now, Faces actually was a really good piece. I think the art was pretty cool. And for $333, 5,000 pieces nearly were minted. And because it minted for so low, there was the possibility for appreciation. Now, there's so many people in the world who would own this piece for $400, $500, and $600. Because the cost basis for most of people was $333, that means that there's room for appreciation. So this piece was good simply because it was priced at $333, and it makes sense for a lot of people to own this in that lower price range, especially as all the other open editions are just way more expensive. So very good for them. They actually were able to sell so much volume of this piece because of the affordable price drop. So good job to Slime Sunday and Blau for this drop. Now let's look at the Thank You Miami Open Edition by Thank You X and JN Silva. So this piece dropped for $1,500, going for a little higher, and now it is going for $1,350, $1,300. It's going for less than it minted for, and the last sale was $850. These artists are not too vocal in the Discord, and the piece is good, but it's a piece that not most people get. Something like Mad Dog Jones, a lot of people will relate to, but one of these pieces, I mean, it's beautiful. It's a great work of art. The lighting is amazing. The sound is amazing. The movement of the blocks is amazing. However, it's not something that the majority of users on Nifty Gateway will understand the value of such a beautiful work of art. So if it dropped for 1,500, I could see people owning this in the 1,000 to 1,500 range, but I do not see this as a piece that could appreciate to 2,000, 3,000 right off the bat. Now, this collection is hysterical. It literally reminds me of the Insane Critters collection. It's not necessarily like the traditional art, like a Ferocious or a Mad Dog Jones. It's kind of like meme, funny culture stuff that obviously when I looked at it, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm staying far away from this. Yeah, it's cool, respect to the artist. However, this is not a piece that traditionally kind of does well on Nifty Gateway. So as you can tell, it dropped for $777 and it's going for $450, $450, $475, $500. The last sold was $475, $499. So people are losing a few $100s on this piece. That just makes sense because if you're really going to own just something humorous, do you really want to own something humorous that is $500, $700, $1,000? I don't think so. Personally, I wouldn't, and I know a lot of people wouldn't either. Yeah, definitely. If you're going to see one of these kind of pieces, don't buy it. If you really want to own it, just wait a week and you're going to get it for far below retail. All right, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you found it very educational. It just kind of shows that you don't want to buy every open edition now. You have to do your due diligence and research and kind of see what people are talking about and what the buzz is about and what you think people are going to purchase up en masse after it drops. Another thing to recap, make sure you don't buy any joke pieces. Make sure you're not buying any overpriced open editions like the Gucci Ghost or Grimes because they're probably going to correct back to fair market value. And make sure you're buying $330 pieces, $500 pieces where it makes sense because then people can actually afford the secondary market and the price has room to appreciate from there. So I hope you like the video. Please like the video, like the video and comment what you thought of this video, good or bad. And make sure if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. The support means a lot. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.